haven't done the audio check until now. And yes, I can hear it. What's up, everybody? I hope everyone is having a fantastic Tuesday. It's 12:30 a.m. on Wednesday now. Um, ADHD. Yeah, really, I'm just here to express my multiple personality disorder and all the other good stuff about me. You know, it's Bryan's World. Yeah. Yeah. It's the greatest show on Bryan's World is Bryan's World. Isn't that great? You know, if that was old sales tactic, you know. You can really tell anybody anything as long as they say like, "Isn't that great?" Like this thing that I'm trying to sell you, it's so overpriced, but like you can see what it does. Like, isn't that great? Isn't that so great people are willing to pay so much money and get scammed? Yeah, I don't know. There's we live in a grifter's paradise. Does it seem like people get rewarded for selfish interests? Like, why does somebody want to be the best in the world at something? If I were to put myself under that lens and ask myself that question, I'd say that I'm annoyed, you guys. Like, and I've been annoyed maybe my whole life. Uh, just at um maybe unfairness. I think unfairness is a good word for it. Just in energy and vibes. We live in a hard, unfair realm that can be really stressful and really hard for a lot of people, honestly. I mean, some people, it's just, yeah, it's hard to get up and go about your day, no matter what you're doing. Vacation, work, kicking it at home. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. It's what's the nature of that? You know, what is that? What is that unfairness? But anyways, yeah, that's what I'm. You know, that's what I try to represent. That lifelong feeling that you know something was missing from the just missing from the world. Maybe not. Maybe just in myself even. Maybe that was just an internal thought. And I just noticed a lot of people, you know, like as an adult going on, you know, if you're chilling on your phone or scrolling social media, maybe going on Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, blah, 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 looking at YouTube comments. I mean, I like to see what people are saying. Sometimes, generally, like that urge to go leave a comment for most people typically only happens if they see something they don't like. You know what I'm saying? People don't do a whole lot of like supporting stuff. It's more of like, and not everyone, and a lot of people are positive. If you look at the comments, there's plenty of positive people. You gotta have a filter. But I don't know. I find it a little bit intriguing at this point, especially as a content creator and someone who used to be one of those people. And I still struggle sometimes. Like, I really can't go on Facebook. From that perspective, as a content creator who's constantly trying to shape myself to the best version of myself possible and making sure that you know if I'm going on a website and I'm not getting a good vibration from it, then I'm getting off the fucking website. I'll give it a chance and dislike some things and try to get it off my feed so the algorithm learns, but sometimes it doesn't. And yeah, I really don't scroll that much other than YouTube, so I don't really do these especially Twitter and Facebook, where it's just people like commenting and blabbing. But yeah, I see the craftsmanship and artistic vision in my own work, as well as constantly making improvements. And I've done a little bit of extra scrolling lately when I get a chance as research. Twitter, or now X, which I'm still going to call it Twitter, just like I still call the Cleveland Guardians the Cleveland Indians. If you don't like something, you could just unfollow it or not follow it, and you can tell it I don't like this. And it seems to learn. Instagram, you can teach that shit real quick. Just follow a couple things of your interest, and it will just feed you stuff of what you're looking for. Like, I've been following all these people that just are crazy, like crazy schizophrenic ranting. Almost like how if I have like a manic episode, I kind of go full schizo. So I appreciate those people, and I think it's kind of interesting to see, what's happening with the crazies out there. They're out there running around on the streets. What's up with the crazies? Ranting about anything from... the one lady was saying she's being molested by Sandra Bullock or something. She's got this obsession with Sandra Bullock. She thinks that Sandra Bullock's taken members of her family. And I don't know if she actually thinks it or it's just some kind of performance LARPing as a skits person. Or LARPing as a crazy person. Because she'll be like today at the homeless shelter. Like, but I don't think she works. She doesn't say she works at the homeless shelter. It's always like, I was taking my shower. So it could just be a really insane person that's homeless. Stacy Kennington. Or Kennison? Stacy Kennison. On Instagram. Older woman. Goes on there and just really says some of the dumbest, but put together in a funny way, almost like filibustering. She's just ranting out crazy stuff like people are trying to harass me and do this to me. Like, it's almost like the targeted individual shit. So there's a bunch of stuff like that. I sat there on Instagram, I tested. I'm like, I want my feed to be all this. I want these idiots. I want this to be the only thing on my feed. I'm tired of normies. I'm tired of people showing their normie family life. Like, boo, boo, in your face. Ooh, everything worked out for me. Like, yeah. I want to see the idiots like me saying this kind of stuff. So I followed a bunch of the accounts and went on a scroll. And I liked a bunch of stuff, saved some stuff that was super funny. And next thing you know, I go back to my feed and it's all insane people. And not even just the ones I followed. Some of the ones I followed, but new insane people. And here I am going on this spree now of my Instagram. I follow a whole bunch of crazy people. And now I need to get my ratio back up. I need more followers. But yeah, there's something to that. Now Facebook. Going over to Facebook. I can identify Facebook as by far the biggest garbage pit of content. You have most people that leave comments are leaving a comment because they're pissed off. And then you just see it. It flashes on your screen. It shows you posts. It shows you people refuting the posts. So then in your brain, it seems normal that, I'm supposed to go around and react negatively to things I don't like. And I used to be a troll. And I'm pretty witty and quick. I can really... say something crazy that people can't come back from. I'm like Pat God. You guys know about Pat God? He's a somewhat internet famous in his little niche. But anyways, he finds people that are basically like e dudes, e girls, OnlyFans girls, people that are kind of pieces of shit. And not that OnlyFans girls or men are pieces of shit. but sometimes they are. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't, if someone says I do OnlyFans, I certainly wouldn't judge them one way or the other. It wouldn't even matter to me, honestly. A lot of times, people in the industry, it can be healing. You're healing the sexual energy of people that has been manipulated, and then you have that ability to go online and chat with somebody or watch somebody live, and get that intimacy from the internet. And I used to, in my in the we change and evolve. I used to be kind of against that, and then you just learn more about things. You grow older, become more wise, and think about things a little bit differently. Yeah, what's healthier, like chatting with they have like the AI chatbot that it asks the girl a whole bunch of questions and stuff like that, and they type into it and do some paragraphs, and the AI kind of makes a chatbot model of them. Like, what's healthier, going on Facebook and seeing all this negativity and negative comments, or going and chatting with a human being that you find very attractive and that is just kind of sharing like their body and photos and stuff to maybe make money, but also like there is some healing properties to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, we all have these urges, and men's and women's behavior, the average person's behavior in that world is just kind of like ruining it and harming a bunch of people and making it like incredibly unfair. Once the simps started rising, like, it fucks shit up. It's like simps and fuckboys are the dudes who are trying to stack their body count, and then the dudes that will simp out, and they know they might not have a chance with the girl, but they're still going to pay for dinner. They're just happy to go on a date. So yeah, a lot of these things are worrying. But yeah, my vision is, hey, we can just make our own lane, right? So, anyways, yeah, my experience on Facebook, it just feels like no matter what I do, no matter how many people I snooze or block, like, they are actively, they see what gets you triggered and leave it on the comments and gets you negative, and they feed you that shit. And there's just so many grifters on Facebook. I do think Facebook also has a large presence of bot followers. I think you get a lot, if you're doing a certain niche or something that's really kind of stupid. There's a whole niche of girls. Not to be mean, I'm not judgmental. I'm not super picky, or when it comes to even dating people and stuff on looks and stuff like that. More of the quality of out here. Um, Basically getting rage baited and causing further rage bait. It's a rage bait pyramid scheme. What's up, Polly? Hell yeah, that's Nick Chubb back there, man. That's my dude, Nick Chubb. I also have an orange Nick Chubb jersey. There's a couple. How many guys do I have two jerseys of? I have like three or, no, I have four LeBron Jameses. I have two Nick Chubbs. I got two Baker Mayfields. And I guess the Johnny Manziel, I have two Manziel jerseys because I got the autographed one and a Browns one. Yeah, the silent majority don't type anything. That's true, Polly. And it's very true. And people need to understand that. And if it's something that's just so prevalent that people are so sucked into, you just gotta get off the app for the sake of your own mental health. And yeah, I can't do it. I'm gonna try to do something that maybe makes it so I can only use Facebook to. I don't even want my thumb to slip on that shit one time ever again. I only want to be able to post my stuff there. I had my post I shared on YouTube, it only got like 10 views because I was talking conspiracy, and this is a cuckery. It was about the Challenger being fake. And there's a video out there where I think they find 5 out of the 8 people from the Challenger. And they said, listen, these people are still alive. Like somebody put two together and first it was just pictures, right? Just a conspiracy theory, right? Oh, well, they all must have a doppelganger. Everybody's got a doppelganger with a similar name out there. We all do. I'm sure there's a Bryan that looks exactly like me and acts exactly like me. It has some of the same exact credentials. I'm sure that, you know, that's a common thing. Every single person that goes to space, you guys know this? If you're an astronaut, like, you actually have a doppelganger. Like, you always do. Every single person. So I mean, yeah, if you're trying to knock the Challenger theory, that's again what you're saying. You're basically saying like, oh yeah, everybody has a doppelganger with the same name. Again, I said in the short, many of these people didn't bother to change their name. It was the same exact name. And then you look at like, okay, what's the astronaut's background? What was their background? Like, oh, they're a professor at a big university. Oh, interesting. So yeah, but at first, listen, man, it didn't even have the most like gravity, honestly. At first, I don't even know how much. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. That's not good. That's looking bad. But maybe somebody just, I guess you could take a picture and you could have it like aged. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what would you look like as an old man? Blah blah blah. And you can take a picture yourself. So yeah, it could be like, oh, maybe somebody's just horseshit and again, rage baiting the conspiracy theorist. What's up, Daniel? What's up, Michael? How you doing? But then you know, again, I try to look at things and say like, hey, if something can be faked, then you gotta take it with a grain of salt. But it was pretty juicy stuff. And then they came out with this whole like flat Earth. It's flat Earth stuff, and I think they let this information get out, and I think these flat Earth people, a lot of them are shills, and they're allowed to leak this information in some capacity. Because they went to the houses, man. They went to the houses and they said, is this you? This is your name? This is the thing you died in the Challenger. And they kind of said, oh, I've had people say that before. I don't know. And then the one guy kind of talked to him for a second, but then he figured out that, like, this isn't just somebody trying to check. This is somebody trying to expose me. This is probably under camera, hidden camera. They're recording me right now. Like, I need to shut up. Oaths of secrecy. You don't know that. So yeah, for any of these people, you know, that just love being good little shills for the government. What was I gonna say? Yeah, are you gonna debate me that oaths of secrecy aren't a real thing? That's pretty much, you know, widely available information that there's all sorts of oaths of secrecy and different things within the government. And then again, the basically taking a stance that says, oh, there's a statistical probability that everybody has a doppelganger. Like, it doesn't add up because they found these people and some of them, like, were like, no, get away from me. Why do you think when these people that are shills, like the astronauts and stuff, when they get caught on camera, why do you think they get mad and be like, don't talk to me? When they refuse to put their hand on the Bible, they've walked up to him. They walked up to an astronaut and said, "I want you to put your right hand on the Bible and swear to God that you went to the moon." And they're like, "Get away from me, no!" They won't do it. They won't do it, bro. And yeah, they're scared, bro. People a lot of times when they're scared, they get mad. Sometimes fear manifests in anger, and that's exactly what's happening because they took the oath of secrecy that they wouldn't be no whistleblower. Now, whistleblowers, they're trying to make you think like, oh, whistleblowers really do come out. If you're a whistleblower and you're still granted access into the United States of America without getting shadow banned and marked, you're not. That's controlled opposition. That guy, Bob Laser, yeah, Laser. His name's Bob Lazar Laser. Okay. Alien space laser. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the aliens guy. His name's fucking Laser. Oh, like that shit's funny, dude. And I know Joe Rogan knows it. Polly says Paige Sporanic did a 4th of July pictorial, which was too graphic for most. Well, if I pull it up, will I get banned? I got the horses in the back. Yeah, you can see her vagina. Um, their pussy spells don't work on me. I actually, I would reject her unless she was really nice. I'm sorry, but like, as a model, if you're actually a model, I just feel like energy wise, I wouldn't want to, like, if I was a girl, let's say if I was a hot model, I wouldn't really put much, I wouldn't put anything like sexualized really on Facebook. Or, I guess that was just a Facebook post about her, I don't know, but I don't know what's up with that with these e-girls. I get that you pander on there for men and simps in your DMs, but like, there's places for that. They pay you money. I get that if you manipulate a guy into giving you money. I've only had, and then when it was when I was dumb and naive. I don't know why more girls didn't try that on me when I was dumb and naive, but I didn't know I was. I didn't know I had riz and game. I didn't believe in myself, and then I learned that sometimes it's like a snake, bro. The snake is more afraid of you than you're actually afraid of the snake. What's up, Chinchi? You. Dude, go back to that chick photo and hello. I honestly, I mean, look, if she wanted to post a picture of her in a bikini, I mean, that's good, but that was too much. I don't even think I can put that on my end. YouTube. I don't think I can put that on YouTube, bro. Like, it was pretty much like that needed another half centimeter, half inch, bro. It was covering her vag. I don't know, like, if you're red, like, why do you have to publicize all your modeling stuff so much to the average person that it gets picked up on the news? And oh, she knows if she barely covers up that coochie, it will cause controversy and stir, which will cause more people to pull it up and look at her coochie that may have not wanted to see it at that time. So like, not that I care, I'm not a bitch, but like, yeah, people are hypersexual and addicted to sex and stuff, and like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, you don't always want to get blasted by that shit. uh And I think that, yeah, again, that going off what I was saying, Polly, that's a pretty good example. Like, you going on Facebook, it's not even that you see Paige Sporadic's post necessarily, but you see a post of a post. You see one of the news outlets or a TMZ or something like that picking it up and just feeding it to you. Yeah, I'll be in town this weekend, mate. I'll be in town. It's Holloway versus McGregor, dude. We gotta go live for it. We'll do a companion show. How's it going, Derek? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I mean that they probably she can't walk in that. It's gonna get absorbed. I think what happens with a girl like that is, I mean, they spent their whole life with men not constantly trying to hook up with them. Probably, oh, super sexy girl, here's my shot, blah blah blah. They all go through a phase where they be caving, and I think they cave on enough like crappy men that it traumatizes the fuck out of them, and they like look back on their past sexual neediness and just letting it loose with men that didn't do anything to earn it or end up fucking her over or leading to a bad experience. And then that's where it comes from. Like, oh, okay, I need to flash my pussy to everyone I can on the internet. Because if she was going on Chatterbait or OnlyFans and doing work on there, that's fine. But, like, I don't know. There's just plenty of places for that stuff now, Also, like, who the fuck does she think she is, bro? There's so much pornography out there. You can go find fucking anything. Dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bitch. Like, just because she's, like, a tennis girl, like, oh, I'm going to be the tennis girl that's also a model. But at that point, like, what is it really? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some cope shit. It's some copium. Was she mad that the Wimbledon? She probably lost. She's being too much of a coochie, how? And it hurt her aura, dude. Paige Sporanic lost in the Wimbledon because she was doing too much naughty stuff, and her chia wasn't strong enough to beat her opponent. She ain't no pros tennis. I never heard of her other than making fun of her for being. Again, not that. I'm not saying like being a hoe is a bad thing. I'm just saying. Like, you're a hot chick. There's plenty of material, naked websites, all this stuff on the internet. Like, why do you think you can do? If all those people stay in their lane, why do you gotta be the one? Like Bonnie Blue. All right, stay the fuck on OnlyFans. Like, why are you parading around all this around? Like, what is that? That's someone that's not happy. That's someone that's coping for their issues. And I know all about that. I smoke copium. I don't like the word cope. I think you should say cruise, whatever you need to cruise through life, but when it's backed by attention seeking and there's that weird egotistical vibe that you see from most famous people, where, oh, I'm so special because I never gave up on myself, or were you handed the red fucking carpet since you were a kid, and it's on some industry plant shit. Like, you guys can't tell me that. So I have this thing where if I see one of the streamers eclipse, I don't ever search or try to watch that shit. Other than IRL streamers only use me Blade. Shout out Bryan. That's his real name. But you somehow know, like, I somehow know who Neon is, and I never watched that dork shit. But whenever, I just don't know how you got. I don't know how people don't have the ability to just like, and when they start talking, and you hear the very first word come out of their mouth, just like instinctively, like, get the fuck off this, get this off my screen, like swipe away, close the app, like get the fuck off. I'm gonna go read a book. Like, I we're getting sucked in and rage baited, you know. And it still happens to me. I still get rage baited to this day. I just don't like. I really have never heard Neon or Aiden Ross really even talk. Like, I don't even know what their voice really sounds like that much, because anytime I've seen it pop up in my algorithm, by the time they get to talking, my brain has already identified based on the title and seeing their name in the title that unless the video is instantly roasting them and making them look bad, that I have no interest in it. And even that, that's, see, it's making you think negative. They want people to think, they want you to be pissed. They want you to feel small, especially smaller content creators. Like, they want you to feel small as fuck. Like, damn, this dumbass fucking kid up there, this little neon shrimp dick. Like, oh my god, everything he says is just layered to piss people off. And he knows it. And just, he's a shit, but man, there ain't no way that he did anything to actually get to where he's at. Like, he didn't do shit. I think if you put something on kids' algorithm and say it has a bunch of views, more kids will flock to it. And dude, they can fake that shit. You know what I'm saying? Twitch and Kick, dude, it can tell you that 1 million people are watching and there's only like 5. I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually like that shit. That these people actually don't have viewers. And all that chat, half the chat. What's up, chat? What's up, chat? What does chat think? What does chat think, man? Like, shut the fuck up. Anybody who says chat, no, it ain't. Call them the people. What do the people think? What do the friends think? They don't have friends, bro. That's why they call it chat, because they want to demean you as people, because people ain't that nice to them. Hell no. Dude, the average like adult my age, like, if I seen Adlin Ross in real life, I wouldn't be no dick sucker. I'll be like, yo, fuck your dumbass for popping up on my screen. Like, you ain't shit. Like, you're not shit. You're just like a spoiled brat. You're a spoiled industry brat. And if it was in the law, I would take everything you have from you physically. Absolutely. Not that I'm all about following the law. I'm just like, you know, I don't want to go to jail for beating up Aiden Ross. I mean, I do. I really do. I really do. Or like Neon, I mean, golly. Again, I barely, they just find a way to make me upset within a couple of words, man. It's amazing. It's incredible. But anyways, you guys, you know, I don't like to be the one sitting around worrying about popular people. I like to make my own sauce, make my own sugar. Audio sugar dope. So yeah, you know, I'm, you know, dealing with this shit myself, honestly. That's why I be talking about it, cuz where is the respect and the responsibility of these social media companies to where they're just actively addicting people that are propped up industry plants. Like, where are we ever gonna have a respect for the average person and what the average person might want to see? Like, what's with all this triggering stuff? Like, what's with all this polarity stuff that is basically structured where you're either gonna root for it in some weird toxic way, or you're gonna actually get pissed. Like, it's structured to either suck you in and be like, you know what, that's different, edgy, I like that, I'll stand for it, or actually actively make you upset. That is a very real thing. A lot of people experience it on a day-to-day basis. Like news, Fox News, CNN, all the big news. Where's the responsibility of people's vibe and well-being mentally? Where's the responsibility? The more you talk about shootings, murders, unfairness, robberies, tragic events, the more you talk about tragic events, the more people's vibration is going to go down. For the average person, your vibration is just, it's not good. You don't, you know, what's the fucking point of turning into the news and seeing about all these murders and all this bad stuff and stuff that's gonna be like, man, what the fuck, this is rough. And then all news channels are also politically affiliated, so not only just gonna base level traumatize you with shootings and murders and shit and make you afraid with trauma-based mind control, but they're also politically motivated, and they're gonna try to addict you to getting angry at the other side. So what do you do, man? I say we pull up on them. I say we go to the news stations and take them over. So that's the average. The effect of the news on the average person is going to upset the average person. There are some atheist, Satanist doomers that like seeing negative stuff happen. And sometimes it's because bad stuff happened to them and they're just trying to get through it by hearing flooding negativity. But that doesn't help. That doesn't actually help either. Even the people that are like, yes, the world is bad. Bad things happening. I get mad sometimes and say, like, you know what, I wish there was a fucking fire or something. Or I wish there was a flood I was like, I wish there was a fucking flood. And then the Venezuela thing happened. But listen, man, I would only say something like that because, well, your God, our God, who's believes in polarity, okay? Love and hate, all that stuff, okay? He knows what's up. There's tsunamis, earthquakes, natural disasters. They just take people out. Chris Johnson up right there below us, diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. 3 to 5 after you're diagnosed, you typically have a 3 to 5 year window. I mean, what kind of shit is that? And a lot of people give praise to that God and say, thank you, God, you gave me all the stuff I have. Man, God didn't build your house or your apartment. A man or a woman did that here on earth. God didn't suck your dick. That nice girl down the street did. And look, I believe in the higher power and a higher being, but I don't want to get all too into that, but you know. A lot of rabbit holes, right? So yeah, the reason I say those kind of things is like, well, human history repeats itself, and we've had hella floods, hella earthquakes, a lot of stuff, a lot of volcanoes, a lot of tough stuff, right? You hear it turn on the news, Venezuela, they're dying, 2,000 people dead, mass shooting, this and that. What is there ever going to be some kind of responsibility? Those things are always going to keep happening because of human nature. We can't really stop earthquakes and tsunamis, but going off the normal person's vibe and energy being shifted negatively by the news, you have people that are on the freaking verge of going nuts. You have a lot of people suffering with mental health disorders and disabilities. And they're having a tough time, and they're like about to snap, And when you hear about some of these stories, like, well, if shootings weren't so publicized, you're gonna, it is. If you're losing your fucking shit, like, I'll be in the news. My court case will get covered in the news. Like, I'll be known. They make prison seem so fun on the internet these days. Oh, we get to make snacks. Yo, man, you gonna mush that shit together. That's some good shit. He's got like Doritos and his fermented piss. Like, yeah, okay, bozo. Man, big tough guy with a bunch of tattoos, mixing up a bunch of cosmic brownies in prison. Man, and still trying to act all hard. Man, I get it. You gotta get through things. You gotta fight through things. People make mistakes, but again, maybe people make less mistakes if there's more like positivity on the news, or a responsibility of the news to, fair and balanced. Was Fox News say that? Fair and balanced? I think that'd be very unfair to have somebody sit there and watch your program. You should be talking about more positive things than negative. I mean, right? Isn't that math? Or at least, if you want to be balanced, you need to be at 0, right? You need to balance that shit out. It can't be 10 one way. It can't be 9 one way, 1 the other way. It can't be 8 one way and 2 the other way. You can't, however you want to get to 10, whatever, 5 plus 5, the math. Do the math on it. If you were going to make a program, it's like my podcast, you know what I'm saying? If I listen back and feel like I've been complaining too much, it's like, well, now I got to do some nice stuff or some funny stuff. Or at least if I'm going to talk about these negative things, like, well, here's how to think about it. Here's the reality of it. Now you can feel better about it. And here's some tips to not get fucked. But it's money, dude. Advertising and clicks. Your clicks, your time spent on these apps is a data point that can be sold. Not just selling your information, but selling your actual habits and saying, hey, I got this amount of people that are spending this much time on my website. You want to put an ad here? You want to share this space with the people giving me money? It's sickening. It's truly sickening. But, you've got to prosper one way or the other. You got to find the cracks in the matrix, you feel me? You got to be like Neo. You got to be like an unstoppable force of chaos and mayhem. You got to be ready to break this matrix in half. But yeah, I mean, I had some comments on the higher power. Look, I just feel like, man, if I were to sit here and say, well, I just, I thank God for all this. I just feel like that's a you know, I feel like that's a, I feel like it's a little bit ignorant to the people in your life. Oh, well, God guided me. No, you talk to him in your head, huh? It's not bad to have a relationship with God, but how often do you hear, like, they say, first and foremost, I want to thank the Lord Jesus Christ. And then I also want to thank my friends and family and stuff and supporters. Now, what's with that pander? What's with that little pander? It's a little odd to me. I would think that you'd want to, like, the people that supported you, the people that, again, let's use the UFC fighters. They pander because they have a high amount of right wing followers. So Dana White tells them, literally every fighter, to say something about God. God, who built your training center? Who owns your training center? Did God come down here? Well, he created man, so technically anything that man's ever done, God created. Yeah. Well, yeah, let's just take that away from people. Let's take that pride and be like, well, let's not really give pride to our fellow humans that much. It's really everything is God's. Something so complicated and deep and spiritual. Doesn't seem like it's owned by one person. Doesn't seem like it's created by one person or this person, the God, the higher power. What is that? It's hard to say, but it's imaged as this big guy in the sky that made us all and loves you and protects you. And if you look around, well, if he performed all these miracles on earth, if we did all this stuff in the past, like, what's up with all these natural disasters, bro? Like, if you created it in your image, then you must be an asshole. I mean, look, people are our own biggest hypocrites. Pretty much everyone's an asshole, even me. So yeah, maybe whatever did create us was kind of an asshole and wanted to play a little fuckery with us. I don't know. But I think that, I'm just saying, potentially, if we gave more credit to each other and we said, listen, I wouldn't be here without, some of these little details and nuggets that people left with me. Different positive things people said, specific actions that helped me out. Or, oh, this magical force. Well, because of this magical force, which there is a magical force, most certainly. I just don't know if you know what I'm saying. I don't know how, like, praying for a lot of, like, oh, everything perfect, I want this, I want that. I don't know how good that, I don't know how, like, positive energy that is. If you're praying for other people, that's the best. If you're praying for yourself so you can help other people, that's the best. That's the best you can do. But I think a lot of times praying people are praying for their perfect life. People are going to church for some kind of reward, selfish reward. The money, cars, women, house. Or maybe, I want a family. It's good to have a family. Pray that I get a family. I think when it's a selfish interest, I don't know how holy, if you're looking at the word holy, I don't know how holy that is to really ask for selfish interest from the higher power. Money, like success, I think that's you know, you can look to your fellow man for support. Somebody's gonna come around. Somebody's gonna see me. Somebody's gonna help me out. I'm just saying, what's more likely? If you look, if we're gonna use logic here, what would be more likely? That a higher force guides you, or that positivity with others, humans that are here, guide you? I'm just saying. But yeah, again, you know, I know sometimes I say things that are very outside the box theologically. And I just think some things need to be framed a certain way for people to understand it. Uh, but again, religion and God and stuff brings people together. But yeah, I don't know what these energies exactly are, you guys. It's hard to, you know, when things have been used for war, government takeovers, and things like that. And I'm not just picking on Christianity. Look, we have thousands of years of religious warfare amongst all there. We still have religious warfare. Oh, my God is better than your God. God, that's not good. That may you gotta even question the term of God, and maybe even I don't know. It's just got too much of a negative context through history when you really break it down. Oh, but you see in the Bible, one time that God was the shepherd in the valley of darkness when he flooded the world because he hated everyone. Oh yeah, when he murdered everyone. Yeah, that was. And not that people, you know, most people named Noah are pretty solid dudes, in my opinion. So I'd have faith that Noah, on Noah's Ark, was chilling. He was a cool guy. What's with that, man? What were people doing that was so bad that it's like, yeah, we have to flood the earth and start over? So for every like, oh, well, that one time that the people were hungry. Well, what about now? What about the potato famine? Why'd that happen? If there's miracles on earth, why is all that happening? Oh, well, that's to make you question your faith, for God to test you to get in the kingdom of heaven, because it's going to be the best place in the world. And maybe it is. I think this reality is whatever you believe happens. I believe in reincarnation, and I'm going to remember my lives and start a book on my different lives. But I'm not going to do the book for like 5 more lives. So see what I'm saying? That's chilling, bro. That's big chill energy. You feel me? Like, shit, man. We don't get it right in this life, we'll figure it out in the next one. Hey, oh, that's sick, bro. Or the pressure of entering the kingdom of heaven. If you don't believe and have faith, you will not get to the kingdom of heaven. Or everlasting life. And if I don't find my peace in this world, I'll do it in the next. You know, and you know, it's just a different way to look at things. People are getting a little bit like, you know, if you see somebody by the road holding up a sign and promoting the word of God, it's really just promoting the words of God and the religion. There's how many times do you see like, oh, turn to God and everything will be saved? How many times do you say like, hey, try out counseling, write down your emotions? What about a sign that says, hey, go home and write down your emotions? Stop using social media so much. Like if this world is such a bad place, we're in the end times and everyone needs to turn to God, like, oh, why are there so many people willing to help you out? Why are there so many people actually willing to, be caregivers and be kind to people and offer their unique energy? Why are there so many nice people out there if it's the end times? Why are there statistically less bad things in war and deaths than there has been in our violent history? Why would that be the end times? Well, people are gay. Like, okay. Look at all these gay people. Oh, dude, the Romans. The soldiers out at war. They were warriors. They were willing to die. They were doing some, you know, they're getting naughty out there. They're having a good time. They're partying. What are they, like, come on, you guys. But yeah, the politics will just feed people fodder on both sides. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, I would say, I mean, you have people that's just every single day come on social media to like rant at gay people and trans and stuff. It's like sometimes like the putting energy into something you really hate, like, and when you're putting energy into it, it's usually because you secretly love what it is. So there's no, I don't, there's no such thing as being homophobic and then straight. There's no such thing. Those people, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm just saying, like, the fear is because you're scared. You're not scared of, I'm scared of that. No, because you like it deep down. Like, it's just, and so then everybody's living in a box with their feelings and emotions and stuff. And but yeah, if you statistically break things down, like, I'll say this: if you want to question the end times, I would look at like the average person's behavior on like social media as like a man. They got too many dumb. Like, this ain't real no more. There's gotta be, these are NPCs. There's no way. Like, I might say some dumb shit and some crazy shit, but I also keep it real and chop it up. And also, I wouldn't, like, if somebody came in here and blatantly disagree with me, I'm at that point. I've done enough streaming and stuff where it's like, hey, let's have a conversation about it. I'm not gonna attack your opinion or anything like that. That I'm here so that my opinion can be attacked. I think that's a lot of things that people trying to be content creators don't understand. Like, dude, like, if you're gonna be on the screen, if you're gonna be talking, if you want to be a content creator, part of that is somewhat of criticism. That is gonna happen, especially with the internet, bro. Like, listen, if you like Hallmark Channel and you watch Hallmark, ain't nobody gonna pop on Hallmark saying, "Oh, I'm a flat earther." You know what I'm saying? What's up, Joy? Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I have shifty opinions, but in a good way. You know what I'm saying? I see both sides of things. And even like with something like religion, I mean, on average, I'm using, okay, things are less, I was saying things are technically on average probably less violent. We don't have like pillages and villages getting murdered by crusaders. And then on average, I'd say religion is probably positive on average. I just think sometimes it leaves behind certain concepts that could be important and powerful to people. Because yeah, would living in any kind of box is scary, and that's some of the fear and some of the trepidation that most people have in like being themselves and things like that. Being outside the box is really what sets us free. It ain't good to be in the box. It's scary. If you imagine living in a box, you just all of a sudden you're trapped in a freaking box. That is scary. And the way most people communicate sometimes on social media is okay, person in box. I am in box. Yes, I see something I don't like. Yes, I must live in the frameworks of this box and respond to this like all the other people that are also in my box. So I must look at this the same way as everyone else in my box. Now, in that moment, you maybe get a sense of camaraderie. And, yeah, I'm coming at you. I'm sticking up for what I believe in. But a lot of times, it's like Allegory of the Cave, dude. If you popped your head out and saw everything that was going on, you'd be cool. You might be chilling. Might be like, you know what? I'll take a sip of that. Give me the drink. Let me try. They were telling me all that stuff is all, but these are good people. That's why I'm a big fan of Caitlyn Jenner, dude. Jenner had a full gender switch after a lifelong of body dysmorphia. Finally, manifested the person that they felt like inside. And then the right or the left wing really rallied around that, like, oh, how brave. And then she goes on like CNN and like Donald Trump's the man. She's just right wing, hardcore. Like, no, that's when you know it's real, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, just because he went from a him Bruce Jenner to a her Caitlyn Jenner. Like, oh, you think all of a sudden that that's gonna change who they were? Like, no. Still the same, like, spirit and person in there with the same opinions. They just felt like they felt like lifelong, like they're a woman. So yeah, that shit's awesome, dude. I love that. I love that kind of outside the box shit. And I think they literally, when it first happened, I think she was on like a left wing thing and like said stuff that offended them and stuff. That's badass, dude. Like, that's just like a real person just being themselves. They don't care about this box, that box, no matter what. Just, I'm doing it my way. uh, so yeah, I don't know. When you psychoanalyze like what's bad and what's good, there's certain things where, oh, our rules in our box say, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And then if you look at that thing from the right angle and for what it actually is, maybe that thing actually isn't bad. Maybe those people would actually see value in it and agree with it, but because you're told to live in that box of those opinions, we all get sucked in and get stuck into opinions we don't even have or don't even agree with. So what do you do with it? I don't know. You subscribe to Bryan's World. Yeah, we can get into that. Let's do. Are we at an hour yet? All right, we made it an hour. This is good. I've been a little off, I think, on some of my shows. My creative box writers. I'm experiencing writer's block sometimes, but I'm having a little bit more juice the past couple of days, I think. So we're gearing up, baby. We're gearing up for the big run. Big dirty. So let me take a quick pause in the action. It's intermission time. Where's my intermission? There we go. Let's get the sign up. Can nobody tell me? I'll just do the intermission music. I'll just do it myself for today. Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. Gonna round till I can't no more. I'm gonna drink that Jaeger till I'm fucking dead. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I should probably not have the fan in the background, but you know what? I think it adds character. It's calming. What do you guys think? Is it calming? Can you see the intermission sign okay? Intermission. I don't know if they can see it, but that's okay. You can kind of see that it says intermission. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, okay. I should probably shut up and rest my voice for the next segment, huh? Let's try to be quick here. Oh man, I can't. Hold on, I gotta be on camera if I'm blowing my nose. See, look, I'm right here. I know what people will think I'm doing lines. If I was doing lines, I'd fucking mute it. I'd be sneaky. I wouldn't make it, I wouldn't just be getting torqued up in the background like that. Not, you know, I'll do a little tote. I'll do a little tote. Sorry. Just getting about to torch up, son. We're torching up. Oh, fuck. La la la, intermission song. I'll play an intermission song for everybody. We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. But we are against those thugs. Here we go. I'll just play it for real. I'll fight anyone on earth to this song. I'll fight John Jones. I don't care if he beats me immediately. I'll go out swinging. I'll fight McGregor or Holloway or Ilya Taporia. The little ding dongs. Watch out, kitty. I got a torch. Move. I'm torching up, bro. Hot. Hot. Oh, good. I never done drugs. No, I never done drugs. Never done drugs. Yeah, Cleveland, man. LeBron James. LeBron James. Oh, Donnie. We got LeBron and we got Donnie and we got the Bone Thugs of Harmony. Welcome to Cleveland. Welcome to the land. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Ready? Yeah. Yeah. Where's the K? Yeah, man. Alright, next song. I can't do this one because of the copyright, but. Dun, 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 dun. Am I hate being sober? I'm a smoker. Fredo's a drinker. Tato likes Molly water. Anybody? I want some Molly water. I don't even know what you just make water out of Molly. Is it Molly that's water or water that's Molly? It's important stuff to know, you guys. Like man bear. Is a man bear a bear that's a man or a man that's a bear? Oh fuck! Where's my thing for my headphones? This is actually Joe Biden messing with me right now. He just took. They send a ghost to mess with my stuff. Fun fact, marijuana causes schizophrenic symptoms to come out in people. What? No, actually, not if you smoke a lot of it. It only makes you schizo if you smoke a little bit of weed. You gotta do a lot and really blow yourself out. And just push the limits. The only way to defeat fear is to become very afraid. Don't you see? I need to get so I can have the rewind function because I am neurodivergent. Also, I'm a registered, whoa! Water. You hear that, bro? Anytime your phone's not working, it's Joe Biden. Get caught in a storm, George Bush controlling the weather. Yeah. Look it up, dude. Do your own research, you guys. If you're missing money, that's Trump. That's Trump. He'll take the money, dude. That's Trump. You feel like you've been violated in the middle of the night? That's Bill Clinton. That's Bill Clinton's ghost. Once you become president, you become a magical... No, not a demon magic. And they can shadow cast themselves to fuck with people. No, that's not really true, I don't think. But it would... Look, man... What's the motivation to be wealthy, well-known, and in power? It better be good, man. I'm just saying. If I were to have Donald Trump, Barack Obama, it doesn't matter what side, George Bush, JFK, any kind of politician, any kind of rich person, if I have you over for dinner, and, you know, I can't decipher some kind of good and powerful and meaningful motivation for all your success and fame and money and power, that's terrifying. There ain't nothing scarier than that, brother. But I don't think a lot of those people really, you know, would have to. I don't know. I think sometimes your life just goes that way, or it was kind of scripted to go that way. I mean, there's all that stuff with the Illuminati card game that came out. Like, I don't know what year. I don't want to get fact checked. Year Illuminati card game was made. Sorry, I'm a slow typer. Released in 1982. If you don't know about this, I'm actually not really going to talk about it that much, but basically, there's this Illuminati card game that came out 1982. I guess the one that came out with the infamous conspiracy cards was published in 1994, but this is, dude, there was as much gravy in the old one as the new one. That's some bullshit. But anyways, yeah, basically, super sketchy. Kind of like The Simpsons. Y'all know about The Simpsons, where they will have something in a Simpsons show from like 90s, early 200s that happened in 2010s, 2020s. Concerning. Scary. Freaky. But some of this news and information, it's not like negative news. Conspiracies do have good vibration. That's the one thing about conspiracy theories, man. Like, sometimes when you do find the real nuggets and the real truth as information, and something really just pops your top about something, like, yeah, I'm really trying to not believe in this because it's fucked up. It's like the Epstein stuff. I remember getting, not Epstein stuff, but all the, like, before that, all the the Pizzagate, right? Epstein was really just something to make people stop talking about Pizzagate finally. Like, all these things are fronts, though. It's like designed to freak you out or something. What the fuck was I saying? Sorry, I'm neurodivergent. I just took a giant dab. Yeah, we were talking about, like, the Illuminati card game and the holiness of conspiracies, like that side of uncovering, and just, I mean, it's a crazy feeling when you really don't want to believe in something like Pizzagate. You don't want to believe in that, man. Oh, I was looking into Pizzagate not because, like, I want to be right about this and I want to find information. Dude, most people are like, no, I'm gonna make sure this is not real and look into this. And then it's just like, oh, right. Now they've got a little bit better with, like, the whole flow of information thing. And again, even Pizzagate, like, I think what it reveals is somewhat true, but not to the right degree. You know, what does rich people engaging in child sex trafficking really prove? I mean, obviously that happens. Right? And it's also a certain amount of normal people engage in that kind of sicko shit. So rich people, famous people follow the same probability lines, right? One in every couple of celebrities ends up being a burnout and fucking up and drugs and stuff like that. Well, yeah, that's the same amount of, probably a similar percentage, maybe a little bit different here and there, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, the game predicted a whole bunch of stuff about what's happening right now. There's a literal Trump card. Um, Maybe it will show us some of the images. Oh wow, that's crazy. The second bullet. Who does that look like? Kinda. Yeah, enough is enough. This figure right here kind of looks almost like Trump a little bit. At any time, any place, our snipers can drop you. Now, I will say something about this kind of stuff. It gets scrubbed and adjusted. So almost like a timeline shifting or Mandela effect. The internet does, and just when you search something, what exactly comes up? Has that internet been modified since this stuff originally came out? I'll say this, man. A lot of stuff that was heavy duty gravy and a lot of things got scrubbed. I don't know if Harvard or whoever with the Air Force, I don't know if they even still have on their website that they use they make the Air Force, their physics in the airplanes assume a flat motionless plane. In their physics, when they account for the Earth, they assume it's a flat motionless plane. Now, again, maybe gravity and the Earth is so big it just has this effect, blah, blah, blah. The flat Earth debate is, I think it kind of freaks people out a little bit. So I don't get too far into that. If it's something, it is pretty juicy stuff, though. But it's the same thing with this Illuminati card game, right? I don't know exactly, like, where would the best place to go to, like, show some of the specific examples. Let's see if maybe we can find a website. The 1990s card game, The Independent, U.S. Politics. Perfecto. Terrorist nuke. Boom! Look at that. There you go. There's one of them. What the hell does that look like to you? And it's called Terrorist Nuke. Remember, this came out at least, what was it, 1992? They said that the original came out in 1982, but then the updated with all this kind of conspiracy came out in 94. So, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's clearly 9/11. I mean, look at that. The plane, everything. That came out at the latest, 94. But 7 years later, you get the 9/11 terrorist attack. That's fucking wild. Yeah, I forgot. See, I forget some of this stuff because it's best to, like... the conspiracies and why I talk about them still is, like... Some of it's pretty true and obvious. You know what I'm saying? But some of it's fugazi. The people that try to segment one group or the other as, like, in control. Any kind of group at the top has power. At the top of their group, they do have power. If you're the richest elite, no matter what, I'm not even gonna say the Jays, but Freemasons, English royalty, poker. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're at the top, you're at the top, and you're probably gonna have some power in the grand scheme of things. That doesn't mean everyone in your organization is responsible for all the conspiracies and stuff. They try to say, like, Freemasons. Yeah, okay, maybe have some links at the top, just like every other group has links with sketchy stuff happening. and a trickle down and all that stuff. But then at the base level, like, listen, man, if you go to the Freemasons Lodge and your local Freemasons Lodge, they are not, they're just normal dudes. You know what I'm saying? I do like to be like, fuck you, I know you guys are. But that doesn't look. That also, there is sometimes they'll use a specific group for a specific thing. Like with the astronauts, a lot of them end up being 33-degree Freemasons. What's up? What's up, Jerry? What's up, Jerry? Why was I French kissing the dog? All right, hear me out. Hear me out. I tend to like to make good, high quality shorts and stuff. With the nature of social media, you know, I gotta just do some goofy things. Sometimes I think some dumb stuff. So if you want to know why I was French kissing the dog, if you watch the video, I really barely even kissed the dog. uh, I really wanted the dog to lick me more. It was trying to lick me more, and I was gonna let it. I was gonna let the dog lick me. The dog kept jumping on me. It was a girl dog, and I'm a guy, so you know I don't know if the dog was into me. It was my friend's dog. It was a girl dog. It says girl dog in the video, but anyway, yeah, she is a jumpy dog trying to show a bunch of love. So I saw the opportunity to make a little video of me kissing a dog, just to have on the channel, something stupid that might like go, you know, viral in a dumb way. So yeah, and now I'm just like, dude, if I since the what 3-4 years since I posted that video, I don't even drink anymore. Should I just have been kissing dogs? No, if you go on TikTok and start doing ASMR, people will actually start listening. I'll literally, like, I'll have 3 viewers, and then it will go up to 10 if I sit here and whisper, like, so if I just whisper this whole time, if I had been whispering everything I've done in my entire life on the internet, if I would have just whispered it, it would have been way more effective. If I would have just whispered and kissed a bunch of dogs, I'd be big by now. Because I really got it like that. Charismatic leader, see? Oh, I can't do that, man. And I feel insane. It makes me crazy. I was just listening to myself. I have like a instantaneous DVR playback. I just have my video on the other screen. So, because I'm neurodivergent, I literally sometimes forget what I'm talking about. Oh, wait, that's some kratom right there. Oh, but yeah, you know, anyway, so going back to this. No, I like that. It is funny. That video has like 500,000 views. It's like carrying me. That's why I run my live stream a lot. I'll run a loop of all my streams because I try to do high quality work. Instead of streaming a lot, I only stream a little bit. I really get amped up for the streams. I really try to think of so many things and stuff like that. Sorry, I was getting choked up there. Emotional stuff, you know what I'm saying? The drive to create something beautiful instead of something ugly designed to get attention in the algorithm. I shall be different. But no, okay. There is like a trump card. What's this say here? While the game's preoccupation with globalist deep state conspiracy themes was clearly wildly ahead of its time, absolutely. Dude, nah, that's not true. I know, homie. I know, like, if you go out there and the real people in the real world, I talk to a lot of older people. I go out and about. I don't really live in a college town. Sometimes we do get some like college chicks or stuff out the bars around me. Actually, sometimes it do be a hot spot. Shout out to Jose's Landings, Jersey's and Bar, and the strip club, Christie's. Nah, Christie's is all right. I would rather go to Diamond Royale. Shout out Diamond Royale. Go meet some nice girls down at the Diamond Royale. I'm not sponsored by them, and I definitely don't work there for men's night. I've never. No, I actually have not done that. I do need to call them and see. Okay, yeah, that was ahead of its time, but really not. This is, see, all these news, like Independent, the Independent. This is mainstream news, y'all. There's so much bullshit within this stuff. Like they won't really. It's such a game within a game. You just shouldn't read it. Uh it was not ahead of its time, dude. A lot of this stuff came from a lot of the conspiracies and becoming known and popular. It dates all the way back to JFK. Like there was, and then they came up with the term conspiracy theory back in like the '60s to describe people who were asking too many questions about the government, uncovering things they weren't supposed to know. They were finding out about too many things, asking too many questions. So they got to make this term, you're a conspiracy theorist. Which a definition of conspiracy is like, what, two or more people working together to do something like in secret, illegal, immoral, controlling, or like self satisfying and pleasurable. So, anyways, yeah, I've talked to a lot of older people, man, who are truthers. I've talked to a lot of people throughout my YouTube career and other shit who are truthers. All the stuff that I'm 30 years old. I'm still learning stuff. I've been into conspiracies and outside the box information since I was 12 years old. I remember my mom's computer. I like playing RuneScape and watching Alex Jones. I would not watch all the time. I didn't know how to find his radio show, but I found like they used to have all the his conspiracy movies on YouTube. They still do. Before Alex Jones was right wing, he was very moderate. Very moderate. I didn't never chose a side. Exposed just as many Democrats as he did Republicans. At one point in his popularity, they forced him to pick a side, or he realized he could make money off the right wing more. He make more money by choosing a side because you open yourself up to a bigger demographic. Dude, if you're bashing both sides, people can't handle that most of the time. Like I really, by doing that, saying, by saying, oh, I don't think the right wing or the left wing is good. And if you're watching this show and you're on either side, eventually I will offend you. Promise. I will offend someone, both sides. But also be your friend, also love you, and also appreciate you at the same time. No matter what side. I'm one of those people I can go straight from a MAGA rally and have fun straight to a Pride rally. Same day. Get a girlfriend at the Trump rally. Get a boyfriend at the Biden rally. You feel me, dude? But yeah, anyways, so I don't even know if I want to keep reading this after reading that because, yeah, no. Conspiracies were ahead. See, that's the whole conspiracy about conspiracies, that they're ahead of their time. There's plenty of people paying attention before the internet was a thing and talking amongst each other. If you know where, instead of forums on like Reddit, I know Reddit don't really fuck with that shit no more, but those deep-rooted conspiracy forums about Pizzagate and all that stuff, yeah, that's dudes hanging out. You ever hang out with a group of dudes? I'd hang out, get drunk. When I got a drinking age, I'd drink with my dad and his friends, and they'd be talking some truther stuff. I'd be impressed. Me myself being kind of into the truther stuff. People chit chat like, "Oh, what's really going on with the world? What are they not telling us? This and that." So yeah, that was the OG internet. Was just people. That's really what it is. You guys, we're hanging out. So, anyways, so it says anticipating our bamboozled, boggle-brained era of fictional election rigging claims. Excuse me, Gavin Newsom just had to pass a bunch of things so people wouldn't fuck up. It's a issue with the right and the left. Both sides complain about that. What the fuck is that? Fictional. And also, rigging elections, you don't need to steal ballots. You just have to control what people see in the media and shift moderate votes. If you look like the moderates, every single time, if you watch the debates, It's clearly rigged for someone to win. And then if you watch the commercials, like when Biden won the presidency, it was all the commercials. They weren't even political ads, but they were like implying vote for Biden. That's all the stuff. Like a lot of people just vote to vote, and it's kind of fun for them, and they're just moderates. Like who's gonna win? Who's gonna win my mind? Who's gonna sway me? And they'll do that. Like they made, and then when Trump won the first time, they made Hillary look awful. When Trump won the second time, they made Biden literally dropped out. One side dropped out and had to switch. You know how like that's rigged. Of course, yeah, duh. You got. I thought it was obvious that Trump all these terms, and then Obama. I remember being youngster with George Bush. I remember always seeing through it and knowing exactly who was going to be president based on what was in the media. You knew Obama was going to be like Romney and oh my God, McCain. That shit was crazy. Dude, the right wing didn't fuck with McCain. That's exactly how it works. They get someone that their side doesn't even fuck with. Plenty of left wing people complain about Biden, you know? So you don't have to. This whole idea of election rigging actually goes. It's a conspiracy within this theory. They're saying, oh, these boggle brain conspiracy theorists think people are stealing the ballots and doing this. It's like, well, why would you do that when you can just have obvious messaging to the moderate voters and swing them one way or the other? Election fraud's done by the media, man. I wouldn't think they're stealing. I don't like the whole stuff with the ballots. I never was into that, talking about that, because it's just like, they stole ballots. I don't think. Yeah, every single news story that you see is intentionally into a card. It's like this Illuminati card game. It's a card. And this is how they do it. They're listing off QAnon, anti-vaxxers, 5G paranoia. Sorry, I had a loogie. Took a big dab earlier. So QAnon was really stupid. So they put QAnon in there. That was obviously, you know what I'm saying. Were they talking about some truth or stuff? And some, like, truths? Yeah, 100%. They're talking about some conspiracies that were real. But the idea that, like, I mean, the proof was in the pudding, you guys. QAnon was, pretty much debunked itself by, a year into Trump's presidency. I mean, you could just obviously see that, like, no, he's not some outside guy. And we were always kind of, even though it was fun to be like, yeah, MAGA, something different. He's a billionaire, bro. I don't trust no billionaire. Same way I don't trust no politician. Just because someone's a business guy, that's suddenly better. But at the time, it was. I have a MAGA hat. I grew up in a right-wing family. I never really heavily associated with the right wing, like starting maybe as a youngster. I collected the information from people. Anytime I spoke to someone about politics, not that I'd tell them what they wanted to hear, but I would never start an argument. I'd listen to what they had to say. But for family reasons, just more of a right-wing traditional vibe, but not too heavy. But yeah, that shit goes stale, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, my views started not really shifting, but just realizing, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I always knew I was somewhat moderate, but this is not. Some of these, like, oh, one side says this, one side says that about a particular issue. Well, I don't agree with either of you. Get the fuck out! I don't agree with either of yous. Take yous. And then you start saying yous. Take yous out of here. Listen, yous. I'm sorry, that's not very professional, but I'm not getting paid by YouTube yet, so. So yeah, that's a quick example within one paragraph of actually reading this stupid thing to show you how these articles work. They use big terms like bamboozled, boggle-brained, of fictional. They use the heavy like, yeah, get them. And then you know what that does, right? That incites the conspiracy theorists to want to get them. But anyways, yeah. Look, the vax stuff, I can't talk about that, but yeah, that's sketch, man. 5G. I mean, 5G paranoia. You know where that originated, right? A coalition of the top. Like, I'm not even gonna. I can't. But you can go to the website. In 2012, they deemed it like a cancerous, carcinogenic. And then they pointed at like you have examples of them using it to scare off animals or noise control and stuff. Yeah, 5G is crazy, bro. Not good. Charismatic leader, like I this one, I don't know if that. I guess that kind of looks like Trump, maybe. I don't know. There's one that's definitely Trump, though. Okay, Hillary Clinton, personality, Hillary Clinton. Wait, is that real? See, sometimes you actually got to read this because they'll show you fake ones just to mess with it. Epidemic. There you go. What the fuck? Well, Hillary Clinton. See, the thing about this card, Hillary, I don't know what that really shows for the future because Hillary was very popular. And the card game had like some celebrities. Like Hillary was already a big deal and shit. So that'd be like 1984 if it's the second edition. Now this one, Epidemic, there you go. Joy says using those bigger words is called ethos. Basically, just making themselves seem smarter towards readers, so it's easier to believe them. Yeah, exactly. Ethos. Okay, that's the term. Thanks for sharing. That's good information. Ethos. And yeah, you know, there's a lot of ethos, and that's why you got to be careful with conspiracies the same way you're careful with all stuff because, yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff, especially in the flat earth, and I think it makes the flat earth look very unappealing to the average person, and it makes you want to argue. But then to the flat earthers, it's very, like, validating. Like, oh, these stupid sheep and their precious globe ball. You got to defend that there's no way the earth could ever be flat. You don't even want to talk about it because you're brainwashed to your precious globe. Like, yeah, that stuff is like, that's not, oh, I'm trying to expose this information, let people know what's up because I love people and care about people and I found out about this stuff and I want y'all to see. That's my vibe with it. You don't want to, like, call people stupid just because they don't know about something. And then again, like a globe model is not impossible. They try to claim that the globe Earth is it's not impossible. I just feel like space and some of this stuff is just unlikely, but not impossible. You know what I'm saying? Also, I think this realm is potentially, and I'm not saying we're like a computer and made by some like dude, and we're like Rick from Rick and Morty, Rick Sanchez. We're like the car battery. We're just a car battery. I think it's like a spiritual matrix, and there's like beauty and majesty and importance to what we are. Um, what was I gonna say? Shit, sorry, brain fart, neurodivergent. I got the rewind function. Okay, so yeah, but it is kind of like a spiritual matrix where I think sometimes, you know, the law of assumption is very powerful, and I think things are very unclear. So the potential of like whatever you believe in maybe is real, or whatever information finds its way to you that you believe and you trust, whatever you trust the most is real, like within reason. Like I look at religion, for example. If you believe in a heaven and that you were good, you go to heaven. You get to experience whatever you thought heaven was. Or it's, you know, the Matrix, it loads something for you. It's like putting something into an AI. And then if you believe in reincarnation and, oh, I was a good soul, so, you know, I'll get an upgraded life or something like that. Maybe. Maybe that's what happens. Yeah, when I'm when sometimes if I get sucked into a stupid argument online, which I really don't, I used to have an issue with it for a long time. Like a lot of my life, there was periods where I was just not all of it was, you know, I tend to not really go after anyone unless they're blatantly disparaging something and making it look super foolish. You know, it's like, well, I'm not doing that about your views, and I know some people are calling everybody sheep, but and we get sucked into that, like you're a sheep, blah blah blah. But yeah, I'm getting back. Certain apps I just learned to avoid, like Facebook. And yeah, I have the ability to send this stream to Facebook right now. I just from the hit of a button. It might fart out my computer though. But yeah, even if I did, I wouldn't even look at the chat because some of my truther stuff really gets. You know, I mean, the one I had 100, like, there was 153 likes. So that's good. Like, the positivity won, but there was at least, like, 80 to 100 people, like, just insulting me. And I'd only read, like, I've been doing the internet long enough where it's like, hey, man, you know, I know that if I say something and it gets picked up, it does. If it doesn't get sent to the right people, man, they might not like it. I understand that. I understand why people like something like the Challenger rocket. I said some stuff about the Challenger rocket and the people still being alive. And there are some people like, well, I saw that. I watched that on TV. I saw the rocket explode. It's like, Mr. or Mrs. I did not say that they didn't send a rocket. That's not even the fucking issue. I'm saying that these people were still alive, that there was no one in the rocket. So why are you using the fact that you saw it on TV, you saw rocket go boom? Why would that hold any ground in the argument if you saw it on TV or even saw it live? Of course they're going to make it look like the people were in there. They got tricks. Come on, man. They go down the thing. They go down a special ladder. They're fucking out that bitch and before it even goes off. CGI is a technology, and like any other technology, it gets unfolded kind of slowly and strategically. And it was ready. Some people claim up to 30 years, but 10 years, I'd say. 5 to 10 years to be just lowball it, but ahead of time. So essentially, like all the stuff you see coming out, like those robots that can walk around, yeah, they've had that 10 years. And they have some potentially, you know, fake humans amongst us potentially. But yeah, this one here, you can see, yeah, the mask, the shots, the bodies. Oh, look at that, dude. OMG. Could you imagine fucking having a big freezer and having all that fucking meat? Bro. Stinking. I'm excited. Oh shit, dude, I got a new prop, you guys. I got funky chicken. I went shopping with my daughter today. You know what? I've got to take a quick. Let me go pee real quick. I just drank a lot of water and crammed. a little pea shy. But yeah, I went shopping with my daughter at the Dollar Tree today. I was a little pissed off at the Walgreens. I tried to call and see if they could fix my medication, and I don't care if something like can't be fixed or this your system glitched out. But when you want to make it like an argument, like no, you're wrong. It was sent on this. I'm like, listen, man. And I ended up going there and at least talking to. I was like, I know that there's a guy that works at the counter. Who is nice and will actually like look into this for me because that lady seemed out of her mind, saying something from. They were like, oh, well, you had the refill back in November and that expires. I was like, dude, you know how many times that refill has been zero since November? Like, it runs out of refills. The doctor sends in either one refill or two refills, and it lets me see. I can see the number. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have to, if it just kept refilling all, I mean, by itself, like, what do you mean from November? If I had refills from November, those would have been used up. So somehow it was saying I had two, and then I used one, and it burned itself. It like didn't process, and then it went down from two to one, and then yeah. So anyways, but yeah, so they pissed me off. But you know what? The guy was cool. He said the system is not that intuitive. And he agreed with me. He said something, even if he was lying to me. I went off on Lee. I was like, dude, why is this like an argument? Like, why do you feel the need to be right? Like, it was weird, man. And then she ended up hanging up on me. Which was smart, because I was ready to fucking keep going on her. I had more for her. But anyways, I got the funky chicken. Sometimes you do a little shopping and spend money that you don't actually even have. But you know what? I can't do that too loud because it's late at night. Oop. But yeah, now we have a funky chicken if I say something. Hell yeah, what's up, Chinchi? My favorite meal? What's up? Oh, what's up? Yeah, look at that meat right here. Oh yeah, my parents don't have like a huge meat like a meat freezer, but like we do they do, you know, there's some friends that give them some meat sometimes. My dad and the property, you can deer hunt pretty. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And his friend hunts deer, and it's like so. Oh man, so easy. So he gets a deer every time. Like pretty much every time he comes there, he's getting a deer, and he don't even need to go too much because it's like boom. So yeah, he'll hunt in the woods. So yeah, we'll have some venison and stuff like that, and my dad will have all sorts of meats and stuff frozen and stuff. But yeah, that'd be sick to have. I want a giant meat locker. Have years of meat. Hell yeah, Canada Day. And I also got the Pop Tart socks. They might be a little bit small. I think this is the only Pop Tarts ones they had. They'll be fine. They'll fit me. They're stretchy. And I got some ramen noodle underwear. I bought the ramen noodle booty shorts. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I need to make some lasagna. I think my favorite meat to cook with. Ooh, that's a good question. I like my spices, so I do use a lot of ground sausage because it's pretty. It's got a little zest to it itself, and then I'll add a whole bunch of stuff. Um, if I had to pick a favorite though, okay, if I could cook anything, I would cook a turkey. I think I would put a turkey in there. Like any meat. Ooh, no. Well, seafood is what really. Like if I could make myself one meat, like one thing right now, Like if I could do if I one thing, my favorite thing would be lobsters. Uh, yeah, you might want to make sure you kill them first. You want to put something in, like, mush their brain. You don't want them to suffer. But yeah, I'd let the lobsters roam a little bit. If I got a live lobster, I made live lobsters before. It's fun. If you got a cat, it's fun to put the lobsters out and they'll be like, "Wah." Just let it loose with its claws out. But yeah, I love lobster meat. I like all seafood, shrimp and scallops. I make these weird like seafood po' boys. It's one of my favorite things to cook. I get brioche hot dog buns, brioche bougie ass hot dog buns, and then I put that. Um, I get some like mozzarella cheese, or maybe some Gouda, some kind of fancy cheese, but also some goat cheese. The goat cheese. It's like a block. It's like it's in a tube. I'm not saying goat as in a reference to the greatest cheese of all time. I'm saying little goat cheese made from a goat, not the greatest of all time. Hold on, where did I put my pen? I'm tweaking. There we go. Yeah, I've really gotten into cooking. It's fun. I make a lot of pasta dishes too, y'all. Yeah, I need to learn how to make. I feel like I'm very creative as a cook. I really am. And yeah, I would definitely like to have the opportunity to start making some lasagnas, making some different creations out of some lasagna. Cause I think I could really, if it's layered, anything that's layered, I can get very crafty with. Like, I'll literally be like parsley and lemon pepper on this layer, and then cilantro and garlic on the next layer. So when you bite, it will be a different. As you bite, it'll be different tastes. One cheese on one layer, one cheese on the other layer, two different types of cheese. I think I want to make a chicken lasagna, like a chicken Alfredo lasagna, instead of like red meat, or not red meat. Well, yeah, no. Instead of like beef or sausage or something, I'm gonna use chicken lasagna. Yeah, that goat cheese with the like the fruit. They have like the fruit spread on top of it. Oh, I can just eat a stick of that. I like things like goat cheese that are good. Another thing with cooking is Greek yogurt is for health conscious cooking. Greek yogurt is probably the absolute greatest. Speaking of goats, Greek yogurt probably the greatest like substitute. Um, you can substitute it for some people. Sometimes I don't know. I haven't tested it on people. I don't really cook for anyone other than my daughter, but when I've used it, she hasn't really like never said anything about it. But yeah, you can use it as a replacement for like heavy cream. It also is a replacement for sour cream. Um, but yeah, if you like mix it with some olive oil and then add it to a pasta, you're talking about some I can maybe if you're looking for it, it's like I do taste the that is Greek yogurt, but like, you get the unflavored, not vanilla Greek yogurt. You get the unflavored. It's like a big tub. I get it at Aldi's, and that the nutrition facts on that are actually insane. It's like just straight protein, no fat, like no nothing else, just actual straight protein. And it's the only ingredients it says on the back is cultured milk. And then it says like the list of the different bacteria. It's live. It's literally alive. Greek yogurt, it's alive. It's live bacterium. So it helps your gut and digestion and shit like that. Protein shakes, boom. Greek yogurt instead of ice cream. I almost like it more. And you obviously want to have something to sweeten it up though, like peanut butter. I do. I'll make this amazing peanut butter. It's like a Reese's milkshake, and it's insane. It's insanely healthy. If you had high cholesterol, um, if you're really watching your cholesterol for any reason, then that it maybe might be a little high in cholesterol. But the chocolate whey protein powder, the peanut butter, and that Greek yogurt. And if you get the unflavored Greek yogurt and mix it with pure maple syrup, you make it's like delicious. It tastes like the delicious Greek yogurt that they like the Okios brand or whatever. Oh my god, my foot itches so bad. I'm taking off my socks. Socks off. My feet are like calloused from working out and stuff over the years. Yeah, I get a lot of oats and fruits. Heck yeah. Yeah, I make that kind of stuff. I'll make like my overnight oats, where you make the oatmeal and just straight, the what is it, the Quaker. The Quaker oats are actually like the cheapest. You get a big tub of it. I go shop at Aldi's. Blueberries are great. If you're doing the overnight oats, very interesting stuff happens with the blueberries. It's amazing. And then banana is kind of a must-have. I add banana to my protein shake sometimes too. But yeah, the peanut butter and chocolate whey mixes with the Greek yogurt pretty well. It's so thick. It's almost like thicker and more delicious than a normal milkshake because, like, you really get the thickness, but the nutrition hits you, and it's just like, oh my god, like, this tastes so good, but also the feeling it's leaving in my body, especially if you add like fruit. The protein powder, I use the Aldi's Elevation brand. Like, I'd buy it if you put the Aldi's Elevation brand next to one of the name brand proteins and pre-workout shit at Vitamin Shop. Even if they're the same price, I'd choose the Aldi's one because of the amino acid breakdown, the creatine. I think maybe there's something else in there too. I forget. I think they put like boron in there. Increases testosterone maybe. But yeah, it's a really good protein, man. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a absolute diamond in the rough, I might say. But yeah, with the overnight oats, you make the oatmeal in the water in the microwave, and then I'll put the fruit in it, cut up the bananas in there, the blueberries in there, some apple in there. And then yeah, maple syrup is really maple syrup or honey. I would prefer maple syrup. My dad makes maple syrup, so I can get maple syrup for free pretty much. Problem is, whenever I get maple syrup, I love it too much, and I'll squirt it in my mouth and miss out on using it for cooking purposes. It's just like good. The sugars are good too. Like you want to hit some honey. I need some honey. Fuck. You want to hit that shit. If you're having a bad day or feel foggy, just go fire a bunch of honey into your mouth. Well, be careful. Have water. Make sure you don't choke on it. But like the sugars will just those natural sugars. Well, my daughter had all this energy today. I'm like, did you even eat that much? But she ate a bunch of grapes. She ate so many fucking grapes, dude. It's just those sugars in your brain. Yeah, I'm telling you, that maple, you probably already know, yeah. Oh, just the maple syrup and Greek yogurt, or honey and yogurt's good too. But yeah, sometimes something that's pre-made or like already flavored or mixed does have like a very scientific flavor to it, you know? It's hard to mimic. It's like, oh, do I put too much honey? Too much yogurt? All right. Yeah. No, yeah, kids do love grapes. I mean, I like grapes a lot too. They're kind of like healthy candy. I don't know about any of the news. What's going on in the news? All right, let's see more. That didn't really give us. That article was kind of boofy. I just want to see a bunch of them so I can do it myself, you know? 5 million strong against corruption. I'll like them. I'm already following them. Well, what do you know? Look at this bot account. Here we go. Al Gore. Hold on a second. Backlash. So it's this card game that's really like the Illuminati New World Order. Bank merger. Yeah, that's true. Look at the big fish eat the little fish and own them. It's true. Bigger business. We all know about that. I mean, that was a common thing back in the 80s and 90s. Ever since the Industrial Revolution. Okay, the Pentagon. Yeah. So there's another 9/11 one because the Pentagon got bombed too. That's crazy. I got the Into the Night. This is my favorite one. And then one time my granny got it for me, and I was like, "This is my favorite one." And then she was like, "It's her favorite one too." And she even had it with her. I went and she was in the hospital, needed a surgery, like her gallbladder removed. And I went and visited her, and she had some of the Into the Night Bath and Body Works. Yeah, it's so good. It's like nostalgic because when I get all like dressed up, going out in the town and shit, I've used this so many times as my main scent, you know. I prefer moisturizer over cologne for my scenting. You know, just put a lot of my arms and chest and like neck and stuff. And I've always been praised for having a more unique and subtle smell instead of this man Cologne is all fake. Is cologne made? Oh, it smells good. I'm sensual. I'm feeling. You really. Oh, that turns me on. The cologne turns me on. It's more of like cologne's associated with meeting some guy at the bar that gets risky with you. It's like the. It's not actual like science that it attracts women. It's just the perception. Um, it actually masks your pheromones. And if you have, I'll say this: if you have a bad vibration and bad vibes and bad intentions and just trying to use sex for validation, cologne's good because you want to musk. Yeah, that those true intentions show up in your pheromones. But if you're a king of Babylon or queen of Babylon, same thing with women too. Sometimes the perfume can be used to mask. You oh, she smells so nice, but really you're gonna wake up, she's gonna be gone, and your stuff is stolen. You're about to get robbed. That happens. That happens. Not that much though. I ain't worried. Weak stomach. Yeah, I used to have an issue with that, Joy. Um, I kind of used to have a weak stomach with stuff too, but now it's not bad anymore. Like incense candles would make me nervous. But then I started this whole thing that was like, oh, let's conquer fears. Let's start at the bottom. Oh, incense kind of makes me uncomfortable and dizzy. Okay, let's start burning it every day in my apartment. Now I love incense candles. Even the shitty ones from the Dollar Tree, they smell like a campfire. Incense candles, and I've heard all like oh, you're breathing in chemicals. It's like, you know what? That's fine with me. That's fine with me. If it makes me feel good and creates a good vibration, oh, you gotta have the certain kind of candles. And there's poison everywhere. I actually think it could be potentially risky to, like the preppers, which I respect preppers, don't get me wrong. I'm kind of with that vibe. But yeah, all the people that like have nylon for their phone, which again, there's some truth to that. There's a lot of radiation, a lot of poisoning. But I do think that potentially if you do that and avoid everything and always drinking pure and stuff like that, if you're younger, I don't know about our future and how long we're going to have even the ability to avoid those things. It's just becoming more and more prevalent. So you actually want your body to be conditioned for the long term to handle all the chemicals because they're only going to get worse. If you don't keep adapting with it, then you're going to get hit by a bad one. It just takes you out. Church of Middle America. Combined disasters. Earthquakes. Okay, I mean, some of this stuff is... Earthquake projector. There you go. Yeah, I think they have this kind of stuff. Yeah. See that shit? Direct energy weapons and the seismic waves? Yeah. Oil spill. This one, is that even... With the birds and shit, the BP oil spill? But I think oil spills are already a thing, so like... This is kind of accurate. Like the hippies and the left wing being more associated with like being pro war in certain situations. I don't know if that's true though. I haven't actually other than maybe CNN's like and left media leaning that way, I still would think the average left wing leaning person would be anti-war. I don't think the people really change. Sometimes just because the media changed doesn't mean that's reflecting this. You know, dude, a lot of people, the Republicans, disagree with the things on Fox News that's happening now. You know, there's always a lot of shiftiness with that kind of stuff. That's why it's a game. That's how the game works. You know, you make these things on purposely that have holes and make them shifty. So then, oh, if you're on one side, there's always going to be some kind of hole on the other side. But then they're going to put holes in your side. And they're both sides are going to have stuff they can grab at each other. International, what'd that say? International Weather Organization. Look, they're causing and manipulating the weather. Cloud seeding, at the bare minimum, as far as weather manipulation, cloud seeding is pretty exists, and that's kind of what's happening here. You see the cloud seeding, multinational oil companies, nuclear accident. That happens. Paranoids. Yeah, there's always been paranoid people. Secrets man was not meant to know. Some of these are just like interesting. Not necessarily that it predicted anything specific with some of them, but it's just interesting. The Queefs says Joey. Shout out Joey and Robel. Shout out y'all. Y'all keep it real now. Y'all keep it easy, keep it sleazy, keep it breezy. All right, all right. I sound like a gym teacher. I forget what did the one dude, Mr. Jordan, he was the man. I feel like, what did he say? I'll be something like, all right, or I forget his like little slogan he'd always say. Fuck. I'm not sure, Joy. So the issue with this, with the Illuminati card game, would be that there's 2 editions of it, and this is just like a person posting on Facebook. So they might have. There's no way this isn't telling me which ones are from which. So I'm just kind of assuming anything. I'm just looking for stuff that's like into the 2000s, pretty much. So I think the nuclear accidents, I think Chernobyl, I think that would be before this. And the nuclear meltdowns was always like a hypotheticized thing. Ever since nuclear power plants started, that's one of those things where it's like, oh, the nuclear power plants, blah, blah, blah. That was always a skepticism that they could melt down and blow up, because they literally had protocol. Hey, what happens if blah, blah, blah? Well, people got a shelter in place. You have to be 10 miles away from the explosion, or like the radiation might be harmful enough to at least cause cancer, potentially make you pass out and die. So yeah, and then within like 50-mile radius, I remember at school when I was growing up, they said, yeah, here's what would happen if there's the power plant in Perry. I grew up in like Paynesville, Ohio. There's Perry, another Perry up there. There's like 2 Perry, Ohio's. But anyway, hey, if something were to go wrong with Perry Power Plant, we don't have to evacuate this building, but we would have to shelter in place, and everyone would be given. They had iodine tablets. They had a bunch of iodine tablets to dose the entire school. Like they dose everyone in iodine because it like fends off radiation. I think probably everyone should be taking iodine. I hope it's in the multivitamin I got today. I think it's in some foods though. Sometimes you can hit your macronutrients by just eating different foods. Shout out Chris Johnson. Let's see. And people have confirmed that like the game came out. The sometimes with stuff like this, again, you know what I'm saying. The game, like, well, what if the game actually came out much later, or some of the cards that are people posting online are fake. Like, there's people that have said like, no, for real, I had these. Those cards are real. The thing too, the funny thing with the term Illuminati is that is a bit of like a distraction word, a segmenting off of the truth, like controlled opposition. The term the Illuminati is the ones, they're the ones that control it. That's not really, they're not, you know what I'm saying? Oh, there's a group of people that control everything and they're called the Illuminati. Um, and the word illuminate would be a good word, right? So you typically illuminate. Before the Illuminati, when you said, "Oh, illuminate," you know, no one's gonna think of the Illuminati, but now they do. So sometimes they'll take like a word that has a good meaning and create a negative context, like, no, this is actually evil. But illuminate, that means like illuminated ones. Illuminati, that should mean like illuminated ones. But anyways, anytime you hear like one group controlling something, like, oh, the Jews, or oh, the Freemasons, or like the oil barons, um, yeah, no, again, anybody with wealth and power is involved in that network. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be one specific, like, oh, the Skull and Bones Society. Do those societies exist? Do they are at the, again, at the top, are they involved with some meddling and, you know, all the kind of weird stuff and conspiracies? Sure. But that doesn't mean like everyone involved in the entire organization. And then just the term Illuminati kind of makes you think like, oh, there's one organized shadow group, when really the shadows really are the shadows, and it works off of evil and temptation and greed. It's like a force thing. It's like a negative energy uh, that people are being guided by. This idea that I don't know. Sometimes I complain like humanity is so flawed, and like combining it with AI. You know, the prevalence of AI assistants and stuff like that, instead of preserving what it means to be a natural human. Our creation is pretty, you know, flawed, but also magical and mystical and beautiful. But it's part of a, you know, heaven and hell both here on earth. There's just enough hellish things that do happen and do still happen where it's like, man, that's tough. You know, I mean, people still got to walk uh, you know, 10 miles a day just to get water for their tribe. And yeah, I got so mad. That was somewhat recently, I think, on a stream. Dude, it was like, oh, we came up with this thing to create the water out of the air on Mars. It could create water on Mars. I was like, yo, why not put that in the, please invest a bunch of money? and give it to the people that are struggling for water in Africa and other countries where they don't have good water supply because there's no natural water supply. Like how easily it would be to like the amount of money that's spent on military and all this other stuff. All these billionaires hoarding all the money in their bank accounts that are compound interest or different investment vehicles that are making their large amounts of money that they don't deserve, making it even more money exponentially. It's wicked. It's the darkness. That's the darkness, man. Compound interest is evil. When I say something super crazy, I gotta honk the chicken. But no, there is a point to that. Like, oh, once you have a shit ton of money, you can use that to make a shit ton more money. And then where's that money coming from? That's the reason why people go hungry. That's the reason why there's a massive wealth gap. And it's just evil. Like your temptation, like, oh, well, I have all this money, might as well use it to make hella more money instead of learning how to be a philanthropist. But yeah, shout out Chris Johnson, man. I gotta do the ice bucket challenge for Chris Johnson. He's one of my favorite players of all time. It's very sad. I have Chris Johnson rookie card. I didn't realize it was like 3 to 5 years. Hope they said up to 10 years with treatment. But yeah, I don't know. But I got like I have like a box that's all the players I collect and shit. Chris Johnson's one of them. He's one of my all-time favorites. Used to get him in fantasy football and stuff. I use him at Madden 09 and Madden 10. I traded for him. Important player for my Madden teams. I still play the old Maddens instead of the new Maddens. But yeah, he got diagnosed with ALS, Joy. He got diagnosed with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, and it doesn't really have like it's kind of a terminal illness. So it's not really, there's like not really a recovery type. It's kind of like, see how long you can manage it. It's an average 3 to 5 years. So yeah, it's gonna be. That's kind of tough news to find out it's the end of the last few years of your life now, but um. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you spread awareness of ALS and appreciate Chris and his career and stuff like that. I think he'll always be remembered, especially by Tennessee Titans fans, but really all football fans. He rushed for 2,000 yards in one season. Only a couple of guys have ever done that. He was just fast. That was what he was known for, fast, and he was one of the early guys with like the dreads and like the teeth and shit. So kind of influential to the football culture somewhat. But yeah, no, it makes you think like, oh man, it's kind of I see this stuff like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Uh, Take gratitude and appreciation whenever you can for life and all that good stuff. And it can't be happy. It can't always be happy-go-lucky. There's a lot of stuff that's tough. It makes you mad, or third world problems that we have. Anything else I wanna? What are we at here? Oh wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's all I think I wanted to cover today. But yeah, it's wild. There's a lot of that's life. There's all sorts of different diseases and stuff like that. Um, There's a rare. It's a pretty low chance, you know. So yeah, you know, you just kind of I always look at like death and things like that. Yeah, like oh how Obi-Wan Kenobi died. Like, oh, I'll become stronger if you slay me here, Darth Vader, I will become even stronger. I'll be a force ghost. And yeah, you know, that can you know, a lot of people mourn or sad with death, but it's a very natural thing, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it can be inspirational, you know. Add extra pep to people's step. You know, do it for Chris, man. And that's you know that's life. Some people you know you're a little unlucky. You know, a terminal illness diagnostic, and yeah, you just do the best to be like a martyr. Be positive, be strong, and you'll live forever, man. He'll live forever. He'll live forever. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's a crazy concept. So even though he's dying, you know, I'm sure in the back of the head, like, hey, you know, if I go out being positive and stuff, that's gonna stick with people. You know, they're gonna tell their kids about that. Yeah, you could line him up as a receiver, man. Catch the football, run the ball. One of the greatest players. Great, definitely a great running back. What was his career stats like? I want to say he got to like 10,000 yards. Well, this website always geeks the fuck out. There, it's working today. No, it's because I opt out of the cookies. No, let me opt back in because it doesn't fucking work now. All right, whatever. We'll worry about the cookies later. But yeah, his first year, 1,200 yards, 43 catches, and then the second year he had 500 yards receiving, and that's his second year in the NFL. He had 2,000 yards. Okay, he didn't get to 10,000 yards, but he got to 9,600. But yeah, that year that he had 2,000 yards was no fluke. He would go on to have 4 consecutive 1,000 yard seasons, putting up some receiving stats there as well. And then was a member of the Jets, did all right for them. Had one last like pretty good season there in Arizona with 800 yards. And yeah, then was just kind of reserve. But yeah, you know, if you look at the usage rates, you see what I'm saying? He's getting early in his career, talking about 251 carries as a rookie, and look at total touches. Yeah, you're talking about 400 touches in your second season. So you can see then that drip off pretty drastically. So he got beat up as a rookie in his first 3 years, got the ball a lot and got hit a lot. So while he was a great player, it's just the longevity, especially with a running back. Once you lose your speed, you're not as effective. All right, cool. All right, that's all I have for tonight. As always, keep it real, y'all.